Are you addicted to your smartphone? Do you end up replacing and dealing with negative emotions, painful emotions, by spending hours on your phone, hours on Reddit, swiping on dating apps, going on Instagram, that kind of thing? Is that your go-to coping mechanism for painful emotions? And have you identified this as a problem? Well, in today's video, I'm going to shed a little bit of light on why specifically the smartphone has its hooks in you, so you can decouple yourself from it and live a life of connection and authenticity. Alright boys, let's go.
That's why we get high, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch until you die. That's why we puff lie, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a
Oi mate, how's it going? It is Ollie once again, helping you become a confident and authentically attractive man. Now we're talking about smartphones today. I'm going to make a couple of assumptions, please forgive me. I'm going to assume that you are not as confident as you'd like to be. I'm going to assume that you're a little bit shy. I'm going to assume that you are socially anxious. And I'm going to assume that you have some form of low self-worth. You think about yourself, you don't think very good things about yourself, do you? Now, there's a reason why I'm assuming those things. So I'm assuming those things, and by that assumption, I'm also going to assume that you have an issue with this. You have an issue with your smartphone. You have an issue with too many unlocks, spending too much time on your phone, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. It's endless now. I'm going to assume that you have an issue with that. Why is it that you have an issue with the smartphone and you're not necessarily as easily hooked by other forms of addictive patterns? Maybe it's the case that you do struggle with porn. Maybe it is that you do struggle with video game addiction. Maybe it is that you do struggle with alcohol and weed use, or whatever the case is, right? But smartphones in particular, why is it that you get addicted to those? You specifically get addicted to those because they're a source of fast food-like social validation. Now, because you are socially anxious, you're not expressing yourself very clearly. You're not putting yourself out there in a vulnerable way. You're not feeling connected or fulfilled by your relationships, by your friendships. Maybe you don't have many of those either. Now, you still have a need for social connection, and it is precisely that need that these social media sites, that the smartphones have specifically tapped into. So it's easier to just get your phone out and swipe and feel some sort of junk social validation than it is to go out there and start and get those needs for connection met in a broader way. So how do you overcome this problem? Okay, first of all, I want you to stop seeing the smartphone as the problem. The smartphone, as with any addiction, is a symptom of a deeper core underlying issue. Is it true that because you're addicted to your smartphone, is it true that you are a bad person? Is it true that you're pathetic? Is it true that you've got no willpower? No, it's not. It's not true, because it's just a coping mechanism for painful feelings. At one point, the smartphone was a solution to a problem. That might have been in the moment anxiety, in the moment feelings of loneliness or sadness or guilt or grief or painful emotions of any description. It solved the problem because it does. It's very effective at doing that. And now it's become its own problem. Now it's become an unhealthy crutch that stops you from going out there and building a life where you're getting your needs for connection met by other people. So what I'd like you to do to overcome this problem is to let go a little bit of dealing with things from a surface level. It's like as silly as saying to an alcoholic, right, you know what mate, you just need to drink a little bit less, that's your problem. It's like the most obvious bullshit advice anyone could give anyone, and I'm not going to give you that advice. I'm not going to say, you know what, just stop using your smartphone. It's not helpful, is it? I want you to start seeing things as your smartphone use is indicating that you're not getting certain needs met in your life, okay? What I'd like you to do is bring a sense of mindfulness to the whole equation. Next time you feel compelled to check your phone, just take a few deep breaths, pay attention to the sensations in the body, and ask yourself, what am I really doing here? And ask yourself not from a place of judgment or criticism, ask yourself from a place of curiosity. What feeling would there be if I didn't do this? If I didn't check my phone, let's just experiment. I can check it later, but let's just, like, for the next 10 minutes, let's just sit with it and just feel what comes up from a curious place and be willing to feel whatever does come up. Another thing I would like you to do is to ask yourself some real questions about what do you want in terms of your relationships in your life, in terms of your friendships, in terms of your social connection. Because if you are checking your phone 300 times a day, it's likely that there is a deeper need for connection that's not being met. And until you actually resolve this, until you build a life where you're getting your need for human contact and connection and intimacy met, you're always going to defer to sort of short-term gratification to try and get some of that need met. As always, guys, if you need help with this, then book a call with me, free 45-minute call where we talk about you, talk about your low self-worth, talk about confidence, talk about how to create the life that's meeting your needs on a daily basis, like I just talked about in this video. I will see you next time. Take care, guys. I'm going to have a walk around Chiado, Bikes at Chiado in Lisboa. Go and grab a coffee somewhere. It's a beautiful day today. I wish you the best, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Peace.